What is morality? Morality refers to the principles that determine right and wrong. It governs human behavior, ethics, and justice. But where do these moral standards come from? Are they dictated by society, personal feelings, or an unchanging universal truth? The answer to this question determines whether morality is subjective or objective. Subjective versus objective morality. 1. Subjective morality. Morality without an absolute standard. Subjective morality holds that right and wrong are determined by personal, cultural, or societal beliefs. This view asserts that morality is relative. What is wrong for one person or society may be right for another. This belief often leads to moral pluralism, where different views are accepted as equally valid. However, here are some problems with subjective morality. Moral inconsistency. If morality is based on personal preference, then anything, even acts like theft or murder, could be justified under certain circumstances. Cultural relativism leads to contradictions. If each culture determines its own moral code, then opposing moral systems, for example, one culture condemning slavery and another endorsing it, are equally valid, leading to moral chaos. No ultimate right or wrong. Without a universal standard, there is no way to objectively condemn atrocities like genocide or oppression, since morality is merely an opinion. 2. Objective morality, rooted in God's truth. Objective morality asserts that moral truths exist independently of human opinion and are grounded in an absolute standard, God himself. Because God is unchanging, Malachi 3:6, his moral law is also unchanging. Right and wrong are not based on fluctuating human desires, but on God's perfect nature. Here are some biblical and philosophical support for objective morality. God's law is the moral standard, for I am the Lord, I change not. Malachi 3:6. If morality is rooted in God's unchanging nature, then moral truth is eternal. Conscience as evidence of objective morality. Romans 2:15 states that God has written his law on human hearts. Our innate sense of justice and guilt points to a universal moral standard. Without God, morality becomes meaningless. If God does not exist, then morality is reduced to mere human preference. Yet we universally recognize acts like murder and theft as inherently wrong, suggesting an objective standard beyond human opinion. Moral accountability requires a moral lawgiver. If morality is objective, then moral laws must come from an ultimate lawgiver, God. Without him, moral obligations are meaningless. 3. The consequences of rejecting objective morality. When societies reject God's moral authority and embrace subjective morality, moral decay follows. The book of Judges illustrates this when every man did that which was right in his own eyes, Judges 21:25. History also shows that societies that abandon absolute morality descend into lawlessness and confusion. Conclusion. Morality must be based on truth. True morality must be based on what is right and wrong in God's eyes, not human opinion. Subjective morality leads to moral relativism, contradictions, and ultimately chaos. In contrast, objective morality, rooted in God's nature, provides a firm foundation for truth, justice, and righteousness. As Psalm 119:160 declares, "Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever." If morality is to have any real meaning, it must be anchored in God's eternal truth, not the shifting sands of human opinion.